I have just got off the call and we're going back to Berlin. So I have got through to the second half of the incubator. And I'll tell you what, I had an interesting emotional response to this because I'd partially thought that if I didn't get through to the second half of the incubator, that would actually be absolutely fine because I could just go back to doing what I was doing before. I wouldn't have to be doing all these extra hours. And in some ways, it'd actually be a little bit of a relief. But now that I actually know that we've been accepted, that we've gotten to the second half, that we're going back, it's just amazing. That is brilliant. And it's also just a validation of what we're trying to do at Vegan Business Tribe. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. We are through to the second half. We are going to the second in-person part of the incubator in Berlin. And interestingly, Sebastian, who I've just got off a call with, he also suggested maybe going a week early to do a little bit of extra work as well. So there will be a little bit of a stipend to pay for some of the extra expenses for that. So that's something I'm going to try and look at. And also, if perhaps we can get Lisa and Arwen to come as well, that would be amazing. Because if we're going to have an hotel anyway, and flights aren't that expensive from where we are near Manchester to Berlin, so it would be great to bring them over and just make it a little bit of a family affair. So we just had the call. So I've gone through the pitch documents with Sebastian and Pakrit as well from the incubator. And in the hours leading up to it, I had lots of questions flowing in anyway. So I put the PDF online on Google Drive so that we could comment on it and ask questions. And I'd had lots of questions asked overnight on that PDF. So when I thought I'd be prepping to do the presentation, it wasn't a presentation, it was just a Q&A session, but when I thought I'd be prepping to do that, I was actually going through the PDF and answering all the questions that had been asked by the mentors of the incubator. So that gave me a little bit of a heads up of what those questions were going to be. So it allowed me to do that a little bit of extra preparation so I could have those answers at hand, and that was really, really useful. But in essence, yeah, they like it. And they've, over the weekend, been speaking to potential backers and investors about the various people on the incubator. And so they've had conversations about Vegan Business Tribe. And I was really pushing just to find out what that feedback was. Because one of the main things I wanted to do with the incubator was to get validation about Vegan Business Tribe, that I'm not actually wasting my times and my skill set on building something that actually, I'd be better just forgetting about and doing something else with my time. But it was quite positive that the funders and the investors that they were talking to, they do indeed see a need for something like Vegan Business Tribe to actually support the vegan business sector. Their main questions were, is the way that we're looking to do it the right way? Is that going to actually get the best return? Is that going to get the most bang for the buck? Was the term that kept getting used. So for the money they put in, is that going to be getting the most impact out? If we do what we're looking to do with the learning pathways and with the sub-tribes and the community and everything else as well. So that was mainly what the questions were asking. I think I fielded them quite well. I think I had answers to pretty much every question that was asked, and I got some good questions back in myself in return. But yeah, that was quite an intense experience. But I felt I was ready for it as well. So that's great. So yeah. So we're through, which means the good news for you is this incubator diary will continue. You will come back to Berlin with me. You will see what happens in the second half. And the second half includes a pitch day where we will be making a pitch to potential funders, backers, investors, people who might want to get involved with our organisations as well. So that's going to be really exciting. The big question now, however, is does Vegan Business Tribe continue as a for-profit organisation, which we are at the moment, we are just a standard limited company, or do we continue as a not-for-profit organisation? And this has been the question since day one with Vegan Business Tribe getting onto this incubator. So the conversation is that there is pros and cons about this. And my next job is to go away and make a list of those pros and cons and try and work this one out myself. But basically, if we are a for-profit organisation, then anything that we build as Vegan Business Tribe, it stays the property of myself and Lisa. And if it becomes really successful and makes a lot of money, then that's great. That's our business. We can sell it. We can take as much money out of it as we want. We can do with it what we want. We can take it in any direction that we want. And that's got a lot of benefits as well. However, getting backing for a for-profit organisation isn't the same as a not-for-profit, because basically what we'd be asking people to do is to put money into our business so that we can grow our business and then reap the benefits of having a successful business. Whereas if you've got a not-for-profit, what you're actually asking people to do is to give a donation for you to build a cause. So it's harder to actually get money as a for-profit, and that has to be an investment. So it's probably going to be, maybe it'd be a no or low interest loan that we'd have to pay back. Maybe it'd be somebody wanting to put money into Vegan Business Tribe for us to grow, but they'd want to take an interest in Vegan Business Tribe. They'd want to take part ownership of it as well. So it's a really different conversation. Whereas if we were to become a not-for-profit organisation, then that investment, it can be a donation, or it can be just somebody wanting to philanthropically back what we do. So it would probably be easier to raise money as a not-for-profit. However, you've then got the very real question that funding in the not-for-profit world is limited. There is a limited pot of money to go around. And if we are looking to take money out of that pot, that means that another organisation, another cause, isn't getting that funding from that person or from that institute. So that's something we have to be really mindful of. If we can create Vegan Business Tribe as something that doesn't need a lot of money to get going, but it brings in its own revenue, it becomes self-funding, then that's putting less of a pressure on the not-for-profit funding pot. However, if we become part of that, we have to be really confident in what we're doing. We have to make sure that any money we are taking from that funding pot is really delivering an impact. And that means being a lot more accountable. It means having a board of members, which I probably, as the CEO of Vegan Business Tribe, wouldn't be sitting on myself. So it means that it's not quite ours anymore. It becomes more of a collective. But that's what Vegan Business Tribe always kind of has been. Although, myself and Lisa, we run Vegan Business Tribe, it's always been our members' organisation. So it probably wouldn't mean perceptively that'd be that much of a change. It just means that legally and that administratively, it would be a very different kind of structure. So I now need to work that out. To answer that conversation, one of the things I've just done is I've sent the PDF off to a few people who I know who are investors and who do back organisations, just to ask them what their opinion is. Would they be interested in backing Vegan Business Tribe if we remained a for-profit organisation? Or to them, would we have to be a charity or a not-for-profit for them to put a little bit of money into it? So I think I'll wait and see what kind of response I get from that before making a decision, but it's a decision that we have to make quite quickly. For profit or not for profit? If you've got any ideas, let me know. But I'll see you in Berlin.